Do you feel too safe? Are your streets too tree-lined? Is the quiet of your neighborhood too quiet? Do you go home to your pretty young wife, your 2.3 children, and just fall into that lazy boy she bought you by saving up her household allowance? Does she take off your shoes while handing you a fresh Manhattan with a kiss and a hug? Is life just too good?
Well. Just pack up the wife, the kids, and your 3.6 HOA-approved pets and move to Democrat-run Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Minneapolis, where your wife can join the local farmers co-op, cut her hair, dye her scalp blue, and become a lesbian feminazi agitator. Worried about what this'll do to the 2.3 kids, Dad? Well, stop that worrying, old man. That's what the fentanyl is for. You can forget about those kids, as Minneapolis is chock full of leering centers and safe drug injection sites. That's right, Dad. Staffed by professional drug dealers, these injection sites are the safest in Minneapolis, San Francisco, Juarez, or for that matter, Mogadishu. You say your kids are gender confused? Not to worry, Pops. There are plenty of gender-affirming care facilities attached to our Leering centers, and a Leering Center taxi is available 24/7. That's right, Dad. You'll forget all about that safe, boring Republican state you left and start enjoying a different type of cocktail. The Molotov cocktail. So join the new Communist Party of America, Minneapolis Local 666, and forget all about that boring old Republican America. We'll see you soon in wonderful Minneapolis. Bring your checkbook and any loose change you have, since all that will be your first year taxes.
That's pretty good, Cece. Pretty damn good. I gotta say, I really do.
Now, a secret location outside of Hooker, Oklahoma. Nestled in our DEFCON 1 priority bunker, safely ensconced hundreds of feet below the fruited plains where America grows her amber waves. Articulating profundities with humor and perspicacity seldom heard between these purple mountains' majesty. It's the Jay Thomas Show, with your humble host, Jay Thomas.
Whew, thank you very much, Alex. Thank you very much. Well, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Jay Thomas Show. You're on radio on the right, Jay Thomas Radio. Is this working? Do I got game? I do? Ooh, doesn't sound like it. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we were waiting, and I don't know why I do this. I have no clue why I do this. I've been waiting for the sheriff of Pima County to hold his press conference, and I was doing two things at once. I was listening to Cece's little contribution here. That's really good, Cece. Thank you. You're doing a lot better than this. At this is funny. There's nothing out of Arizona concerning Nancy Gutherie, Savannah Gutherie's mother. She's 85 years old, and she's missing for 5 days now. And if you know anything, please call 1-800-CALL-FBI is the number. And they are looking. He has these disjointed press conferences. Somebody really should. I'm looking at the picture of the FBI agent looking at the sheriff, and I feel sorry for the sheriff because he is sort of thrown into this. I'm sure he gives news conferences, but I mean this is nationwide, and then the FBI guy is just looking at him like, and they have a couple things that are really weird. The doorbell is missing. The entire doorbell unit is missing, and for some reason they don't have a subscription to the doorbell company. Why? It can't be because they can't afford it. So they don't have a subscription. So the doorbell was pinging that there was a face or there was a individual that they could look at, but they can't get at it because they don't have a subscription. Then it recorded over whatever was there, but it could have been an animal. Could have been like a one of those weird animals in Mexico. It could have been a dog or something that picked up the camera. So, I just this is bad. This is not good. And so we're still praying for her. We're still praying. Say a prayer. Try to get. I mean, nobody's mother at 84 years old deserves this. And I guess there was DNA blood in the house. Now it's been reported. It's also been reported that they have received a ransom, and supposedly it's a voice ransom. But again, because of AI, it could be a fake. I mean, there's sleazy people out there, okay? And someone could have made a fake ransom, and they wanted it in Bitcoin, so it's untraceable, which I don't think is true. I think they can trace that. I don't know. You have Bitcoin? Oh, your husband does. And okay, Cece says that her husband owns some Bitcoin, and I didn't know you guys were billionaires. What? And it's untraceable if you own it. Okay, the blockchain. All right, whatever. But there has to be some. I don't know. I just don't believe that. But there's that, and then there's the weird doorbell not having a subscription. There's some weird stuff going on here. So we hope and pray that she makes it, that she's not harmed, and if she is being held ransom, they've worked something out. But it's only 60 miles away from Mexico, and they kidnap a lot of people down there. So it's not very. I just hate hearing this. I really do. I just hate hearing stuff like this. Okay, so in Minneapolis, Minnesota, the city council wants to help illegal aliens with their rent amid the ICE surge. And this is from CBS Minnesota. And apparently this is causing some. I mean, the city council just looks like a Star Wars bar, and it's just, I mean, and so and they just interrupted my feed with the sheriff that just basically said nothing. Can I get back on that feed? Can you send me that again? So the Minnesota council people. The council humans. One of them is Who is she? Okay, let's play this. Am I gonna come into this just right out the middle now? We don't have it really set up.
Smell and spell out some type of fraudulent.
All right, who's that?
Type of
Pearl with 2 L's, Warren, and she is. Hold on here. Let me see. Did you have that? See, they just interrupted with the sheriff in Arizona, and it just knocked all that out. Okay, so we back up. This is CBS News in Minnesota, WCCO, and this is the recording. This is the Minneapolis City Council discussing the rents amid the ICE surge. Okay, let's go. We're just going to go in the middle. Try to fix it later.
Activity.
And with putting a discriminatory type of resolution as this, where we're saying we're only catering to individuals who are impacted by ICE, that is going to also smell and spell out some type of fraudulent discrimination.
It is not fraudulent to want to prevent the eviction of our neighbors.
Jason Chavez.
It is not fraudulent to support neighbors with rental assistance.
Oh my God.
It is not fraudulent to lift the voices of our immigrant neighbors who are in need. It is not fraudulent to want to support neighbors who need help with rental assistance despite their immigration background. And I will say that our immigrant neighbors and neighbors who are in need, which can be two separate communities, live in every single ward in the city of Minneapolis.
Well, yeah, okay, so Mr. Chavez, whatever, he wants the grift to keep going. He doesn't care. I guess the people of Minnesota don't really give a rat's ass where their tax money goes because they want to help out illegal aliens, rapists, defrauders, Somalis, people over here, people from Russian, crime bosses, whoever is taking their money, just take it. We don't care. And Mr. Chavez is just getting in there and saying, he's Ward number 9, Ward 9. Why is Ward 9 always the funky wards in cities? Yeah, Houston Ward 9, same thing. Anyway, so hold on. So he just wants to give money away. He wants to take tax money and just blow it on anything. And this is what's going on. I got to go back because this stupid Chris Nanos, the sheriff, it keeps interrupting here. The New York Times, and I don't pay for the New York Times. I'm just not gonna. This final day's $1 for your first week. I'm not gonna. No. So Trump says he's ordered 2,000 personnel will be left in Minnesota. It's a drawdown of about 2,000 people. So he's cutting it in half. Looks like. So the agreement to hold detainees for federal officials required the approval of the county's elected board. Well, good luck with that. My message to the White House has been consistent. Operation Metro Surge has been catastrophic for our businesses, our residents, and it needs to end immediately, says the Jacob Frey. And of course it's Tim Walz. This is the thing. They are. I don't know. I tend to put some trust in Mr. Homan because he just has a record that you can trust. And I'll leave it in his hands right now. But it looks like he's withdrawing 700 immigration agencies, but there's like 4,000 there. The last number that I had was 4,000 agents, and if they're leaving 2,000, that means they're drawing down half. But he says he's withdrawing 7, so you don't know what's going on. Again, this is garbage, and it needs to stop. It needs to stop. Germany has issued a travel warning for Minneapolis. Well, they don't like Nazis in Minneapolis, so I wouldn't go there either if I was German. So and again, this is coming from The Guardian. This is coming from Homan. He says he's going to draw down 700. So again, I don't know. I don't know if this half is a third, because I was told it was 4,000 not the protesters, 4,000 Border Patrol that were going to swarm Minnesota, and you know what? There's a thing going on. James O'Keefe has a guy. It's an FBI agent, and the guy's You can say anything. I don't know. He works in the FBI, but he may not know what the hell he's talking about. But he says nobody is going to go to jail over all this fraud. That they don't even have plans, and I don't know if this guy has any access to that. So you'd have to take that as a, something too. I mean, it's just, I don't know if this guy knows what he's talking about. Just because you work for the FBI doesn't mean you know what's going on. So he says he's not going to. No one is going to go to jail, and that they have all this evidence. Again, this sounds just like a Jeffrey Epstein thing. They have all this evidence against all these elected officials in Minnesota, but they're not going to arrest them, and they're not going to prosecute them. So you take that with a grain of salt. The guys, I don't know, James O'Keefe, maybe he just wanted to date James O'Keefe. Mr. O'Keefe gets, how can this guy, how can he just puts on a pair of glasses? He's like Superman of old. He has a pair of glasses he goes on, and he pitches woo at them, and they fall apart. Would you do that, CC? Do you like James O'Keefe? Mm-hmm. You would know who he was? The classes aren't going to do it. The FBI should hire you then. Because apparently, nobody in any of these agencies, even though he lives there, I got to change my coffee. Thank you for the coffee, by the way. Even though he lives there, nobody knows what he looks like. It's just, have a pair of glasses. Put these on. I want to see. Yeah, it's you. But again, this is from Cato Institute, supposedly the Libertarian Institute that wants to open borders. Cato is a garbage institute. I used to follow it, thinking, oh, these guys are really they're just garbage. But so this is a quote. It says Homan's background running ICE, where agents are expected to investigate criminal records and address rather than relied on broad street sweeps. There's a reason that they relied on broad street sweeps, because they weren't getting any cooperation by the a-holes in Minnesota. Could, in theory, lower the temperature, but experts warn that any shift depends entirely on whether he reins in the tactics that have colored the operation so far. What has colored the operation so far is the a-holes. Sorry. That's not a bad word. No. Yeah, well, all right. It's not. But the jerks in Minnesota not cooperating with the federal authorities is what colored the operation so far. So, but here's a quote. It's too soon to say if immigration enforcement has dialed back its demographic profiling while targeting immigrants. Well, who came here? Who came here illegally? Were they Swedish? There could be a Swede in there, but most of them were probably from somewhere down south, maybe Central America, something like that. So it says, said David Beer, that guy, director of immigration studies at the Cato Institute, while noting that ICE is continuing its aggressive and reckless behavior towards protesters and other observers. I'm so broken up about that. So I don't think that Homan is going to quit. I think he's going to continue on. But it's a big mess, and they're allowing it. This is the thing. They're allowing it to be a big mess. They're allowing it to be chaotic, and then they point at the chaos that they created, and they go, look how chaotic this is. You got to stop this. This is a trick. This is always their trick. And if Trump doesn't start saying, hey, you guys let 20 million people into this country, we don't know who they are, and now you're protecting them, and you're doing it so you can change the demographics and change the voting patterns. That's why you're doing it. If he doesn't come out and start saying this and start defending the people that were there in the first place, trying to fix this garbage, it's not going to go good for him. Start defending your practices, Mr. Trump. Start defending ICE. I don't care about the two Americans. They're not Americans, they're communists. I'm sorry. They were. I don't care. I just don't care anymore. I don't care about the protesters. I don't care about did you hear that? All right, we just got a thing in from Arizona. But hold on. I don't care about the protesters. I don't care anymore. If they get yeeted because they are doing something stupid, I just don't care. I don't care about their family. I don't feel bad for them, because they should grab these people by the shoulders and shake them and say, stop doing this stupid crap. But they won't. So if you put yourself in their place, in danger, when you know that it's dangerous, and then something happens, well, I'm really don't care. And this is the bad thing about it. I used to care, but look, we got the Minneapolis City Council. Look at these guys. Just should I play it again? Play more?
Our Jason Rantola will have more on that.
Anyway, that was the end of it, I guess. They're going to go out of their way to spend the taxpayer money on this bullcrap. So what you have to do is you have to break Minneapolis. Make them spend all their money on their illegals. Spend it all so there's nothing left. I'm sorry. That's the only way to do it. Okay, we'll be back later on. We got a little update on because we have it pegged on the Nancy Gutherie, but it would take a little bit to go through. We got 22 minutes on this segment, so we're going to let you go, and we're going to come back. If there's anything about Nancy Gutherie, we'll come back with another thing. So pray for her. God bless Miss Gutherie, and we hope you get home safe. As for Minnesota, Minneapolis, screw you guys. You have to go broke. Sorry. We'll see you later. I'm sorry. Is that bad? Is that mean? No, it's not mean. No, it's not. It's not mean. I'm telling you it's not mean. You're telling me it's mean. It's not mean. It isn't. No. Why? Why does it mean? They voted for the people that are doing this. They all deserve it. Okay. Well, all right, it's not mean, ladies and gentlemen. So, Minneapolis, screw you. Bye. No. CC has too kind of a heart. Really does. I don't care about Minnesota. Minneapolis. Minnesota. Burn, baby, burn.